So these are the top features of the Google Pixel 5a 5G and why it's a great phone. So the first top reason that the Pixel 5a 5G is an incredible device is the price. You're getting a flagship type phone for only $450. That's less than $1,000, less than half the price of a flagship. It has pretty much all the bases covered. There's no real compromises in that respect. Although there's more similar phones out there that are much lower than $450, this is the unique Pixel type experience that you can't really find anywhere else. This is the type of phone that is supposed to be the iPhone of the Android world. So for $450, you can get pretty much a no compromise phone, flagship type phone at $450. No problem. That's the first reason that the Pixel 5a 5G, that's a top feature, is the price. The other top feature is that you're going to get updates fast. You're going to get them on day one when Google launches them. It's going to be the first phone to get them compared to Samsung, compared to OnePlus. If you care about updates and the newest features and just being on top of everything Android, how it's supposed to be, you're going to get it on the first day. The only other phones that do that are iPhones. So this phone, although it costs only $450, it'll get the updates on day one, just like flagships, and you'll be on beta programs. You'll be the first one to experience all the new features that the new Android updates bring. Right now we're on Android 11, but as soon as Android 12 launches, you're going to get it right away, and you'll be getting it months before anybody else on their devices. So you have that exclusivity, that special feeling that yes, you're going to be one of the very few people to experience the new updates, and that's very important. You could decide if that update is for you, or you could get later down the line, pick up another device and see if it's good for you. So yeah, getting fast updates is the second top reason to get the Pixel 5a 5G. The next top reason to get the Pixel 5a 5G and why it's a good phone is that apart from being the first to get updates, you will get several guaranteed updates. You'll get at least 3 years of updates. So this one launched with Android 11, and it's going to get 12, 13, and possibly 14. So there you go. You got several years of the update. So that means that this device is going to be relevant longer, for years to come. In a couple of years, this phone will still be running the newest software on day one. It's something that Samsung still cannot really make a promise of, because although Samsung is trying to get their phones updated, they won't get them on day one. So this one, you get day one for several years. It's on par with iPhones, and only at $450. You cannot complain pretty much at all. It's one great feature, again, from the Pixel 5a 5G. The next top reason why you should get the Pixel 5a 5G and why it's a good device is that it has an eSIM. That makes it special because not a lot of phones have an eSIM built in. With an eSIM, you basically could have two different services, two different phone numbers, two different data plans at the same time, and you don't have to go to a wireless provider to get a SIM card. You don't need to buy a physical SIM card to activate service. You can do that while you're on the go, while you're traveling, while you're abroad. You don't have to go to a store. You don't have to pay for the actual SIM card. It's very easy, very efficient, just a new way of activating service. This pretty much will work with any service out there. There's plenty of eSIM providers out there. You download an app and you can activate service, so scan a QR code, things like that. The only phones that have that are the Pixel line. And although this is $450, you're going to get, this is like a flagship type feature, and the only other phones have it is the iPhone and some Samsung phones. And the problem with the other with Samsung phones, if you don't know which ones have the eSIM unless you do a lot of research. You know that from Pixels, at least I think it's from the Pixel maybe Pixel 2, but I'm for sure Pixel 3 started getting eSIMs as one of their main features. So don't sweat it. Pixels from now on will have eSIM built in, and it's just a nice feature to have for sure. And it stands out from a lot of the other good features that the Pixel 5a 5G has. The next top feature of the Pixel 5a 5G is this chipset. Now, let me be clear on this. Let me explain why. It is not the most powerful chipset. It is not the newest chipset. This one is rocking a 765G processor, but that doesn't really matter. You don't need to know what exactly the chip is, but Pixels has always offered at least decent, good chips. And they're not going to be streaming fast or the newest or the best, but what it does do is that guarantees you that you're going to have a great overall experience. You're going to have a few instances where obviously high-end gaming or high video editing, extreme video editing and stuff like that, that will definitely bog down your device, and you'll see the performance suffer a little bit there. But you know that everything else that you do a cell phone for, everything, calling, texting, social media, maps, hotspot, Bluetooth, all that stuff is gonna work right away, no problem. And that's the beauty of the Pixel line. It'll do pretty much everything for you. It's your go-to device without really investigating a lot of specs and stuff like that. Another good thing about it is that in the future, it'll still will do pretty good. It'll kind of slow down a little bit more in the future, but it'll definitely not slow down the regular everyday stuff. But the high-end stuff, yes, it'll slow down a little bit, but it's never going to suffer to the point where it's unusable. So that's one of the features that really separate the Pixel 5a 5G from a lot of other phones. With other, Samsung makes so many different phones, OnePlus makes so many different phones. They have high-end and low-end and mid-rangers, and you don't know what chipset you're going to get. If you're not into cell phones, you don't know what you're going to get and how those will perform in the future. But at least the Pixel 5a 5G processor will be good to go and handle most tasks. It's like an all-in-one. It's your go-to processor in a phone. The Pixel won't disappoint you in that regard. The next great feature of the Pixel 5a 5G is its camera, and that's something that not a lot of Android phones could touch. Even if they're flagships, they cannot touch the quality and the reliability of the Pixel phone line camera. And you're going to get a flagship level camera, super smooth video, great low light photography and videos. You don't really have to think about it. $450, you get a flagship level camera for a great deal, and you do not have to do anything besides just pick out the Pixel. You don't have to get the most expensive Samsung. You don't have to try to find deals. You don't have to get it used or refurbished. For $450, you're getting the best camera bar none. It's like iPhone in the sense where they always have reliable cameras, and you could go at the low end and it won't make much of a difference from the high end. So that makes it a great feature of the Pixel 5a 5G, your go-to camera device. The next great feature for the Pixel 5a 5G is kind of an oddball, but let me explain. The Fingerprint Reader on the back. Yes, I said it. The rear mounted Fingerprint Reader is a great feature of the Pixel line, just because of the fact that those are just so reliable. We've had them for so many years. It's been here for a long time. A lot of people won't agree with me, but I definitely think it's a feature because the more expensive phones out there have removed the traditional physical fingerprint reader. Apple has done it. Samsung has done it on the high end. There's still several phones that are lower end that have that feature, but that's a feature that should be on every phone at every price point because it's just such a reliable, good place to have your fingerprint reader. And you could also use it to scroll up and down on the screen with bring down the notification bar and stuff like that. It's still a great feature that has been usually reserved for lower end phones at lower prices, at lower specs. So to have this feature carried over for $450 in a great all-around package is something that other phone manufacturers cannot touch. Last but not least, it's going to be the battery. Battery life has been awesome on this phone from everything that I've heard. It is the biggest battery in Pixel since every Pixel has been launched, and Nexuses as well before then. You finally got good battery life, and one of the reasons why it's such a good device is that Google makes the hardware now and Google makes the software, so it's cohesion. It's going to outlast a lot of 5,000 milliamp battery devices, and you have the flagship, you have the price, you finally have good battery life. So it sets it apart from other Pixels and also other flagships. So this is finely tuned with the special stock Google software, so it's going to go a long way. Last top feature that makes the Pixel 5a 5G a great, awesome phone and makes it unique is that this phone, if you get it unlocked, will pretty much work with every carrier pretty much around the world. You got 5G, you got 4G, you got 3G, you got all that stuff rolled into one. A lot of other devices that compete in value or in price or what have you, some of the time it's only available at a certain network. It's on either on just on T-Mobile or only available on AT&T. You're getting, if you get this phone, you pretty much, if you get it unlocked, it's going to work with everybody, Verizon and every worldwide carrier out there, especially with 5G now. So it makes it a no-brainer. And yeah, there's going to be some phones that offer a cheaper price or a different feature, but you might have to get it just through that carrier, or you're going to pay more, you know, it's going to be more expensive. So yeah, this phone is going to be available for every single carrier out there for only $450. Or if you're able to get it unlocked from your carrier, you know that it's going to have pretty much all the same capabilities to be on every network with no problem around the world. Now, it might be a little bit, there might be one or two bands, more specifically like on the Verizon model or something like that. But for the most part, 99% of the carriers around the world will work with this device. And you can't say that for $450 and everything else that this phone brings. So yeah, in the end, this phone really pretty much has no compromises. You know, it just depends on how you look at things. I mean, this is not gonna be a perfect device, but it has so many bases covered at the price point. And it's just, everything has been improved from the previous Pixel model, that this phone just, it checks off all the marks and it'll pretty much make you happy. It has a lot of unique features that no other phone manufacturer could even match. So thanks for watching this whole video, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And I'll check you out in the next one. Peace.